In the name of God, the most gracious and compassionate. It is recorded with high levels of certainty that the Prophet Muhammad said, "The exalted God said, the son of Adam disbelieves me without right, and the son of Adam insults me without right. He disbelieves me when he says that I will not create him again as I have in the beginning, when creating him again is not more difficult for me than creating him at first. And he insults me when he says that I begot a son." Have you ever wondered why Muslims believe it is insulting to say that God begot a son? Here are 4 reasons. The first reason: God is one. While God creates living things in pairs, He is unmatched and without partner. He created the male and the female and made each in need of the other, whereas He is complete on His own and without need for anyone. For one to beget a son, one will need a partner. God, however, is without partner, and so He does not beget. The second reason: God is impermeable. It is mentioned in the Quran that God is not hollow. This is understood by Muslims to mean that God is independent and without need for sustenance, unlike human beings who take in food and drink. Now, if God in His perfection is not hollow, it will be with greater reason that God, in His perfection, is not divisible. This is because a divisible entity consists of separate components, allowing for further intake where a hollow entity does not. A divisible entity can also be broken apart, and one or more of its parts can detach from the rest. These are all imperfections, says the Muslim. God is not hollow or a collection of separate particles. Nothing is taken in by God and nothing comes out of Him. Nothing is added to God and nothing is subtracted. Instead, God is eternally complete and perfect. He is the strong support in whom all creation take refuge. You should now see why God does not beget. For one to beget a son, a part of him will have to break free. God is impermeable, however, and so nothing detaches from His essence. The third reason: God is without offspring or father. Whenever a thing is created by God out of 2 origins, we can correctly say that it is born out of those 2 origins. Indeed, when a thing begets, it interacts with a partner, releasing a part of itself along with that partner. The emitted mixture then changes into a new creation. A child is born. This process is one of the greatest signs of God. God creates many things out of 2 origins. He creates fire out of green trees as they are rubbed together. He creates human children out of human parents. And He created Jesus miraculously out of His mother's substance and the breath that was breathed into her by the angel. Of course, God may also create things out of a single origin, like He created Adam out of dust and Eve out of his rib. But those things are not born out of their origins or caused by them. Adam, for example, is not begotten by the dust, nor is Eve the daughter of Adam. Nevertheless, in all instances of creation, both the product and its origin are created by God. Whether the thing comes from one origin or more than one, one substance is being totally changed by God into another. Indeed, just as God is creator of both the matter and what comes out, God is creator of both the parents and their offspring. His creative agency is evident in the fact that things totally change, regardless of whether or not they have parents. Everything we see in this world is created in place of something else and perishes by becoming something else, and that is crystal clear evidence of its creator. That creator, however, is not created out of another nor is anything created out of him. He eternally is without beginning or end, without origin or son. This is unlike creation, which is temporary, subject to change, and may have parents and offspring. The fourth reason: nothing is like God. This does not mean that God has no attributes, image or location. Rather, it means that God is unparalleled in His perfection and that He is the only true Lord. God has no equivalent. Whereas the attributes of creation are deficient in many ways, the attributes of God are maximally perfect in every sense. Our power is limited whereas God has power over all things, for example. God knows all things whereas we are fallible and know very little. On the other hand, a son is like its father. A son begotten of God would therefore be like God. It would share in his kingdom, restrict his omnipotence, and rival his perfection. In other words, it would be another God alongside God. In this way, if it is known that God is one and without equivalent, it will be known that he does not have a son. He insults me when he says that I begot a son, when I am God. 1. Impermeable, without offspring or father, and without equal.